Okay, should you pay a deposit to your builder? If I had £1 for every time I was asked this question, I'd never have to work again. I get it, I get the feeling of anxiety, I get the feeling of angst that you may well be feeling when you're asked and faced with this from your builders, from your tradesmen, that you're expecting to work for you on your refurbishment projects. And in this video, I'm going to go into the whys, wherefores, and what you can do to protect yourself. So to begin with, let's be clear. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. This is not fact. This is the way that I operate after all my years of experience in this industry. And what I'm going to get into in this video is to share a part of the process that I operate inside my training business and inside my construction business for my terms of engagement, if you like. It forms a huge module inside of my 5-day advanced training course, and you're going to get the succinct version in this short video today. Because whether you're a construction business client, whether you're a training business client, or you're just Joe Public on the street, I don't want you to be overpaying, getting ripped off, getting robbed by anyone. So by way of introduction, I'm Paul Tinker, and it is my personal mission to transform the way that property investors operate inside the construction industry. I want to see you, the investor, go from learning and losses to wealth and profit. And I hope that this video goes some way towards helping you achieve that. So firstly, I want to be really clear. You'll find that the majority of builders out there, majority of tradesmen out there that you encounter are genuine, hard-working people. That's my belief anyway. Yes, there are a lot of shitbags out there as well, but that's true of any industry, not just the construction industry. The trouble that we face, the challenges that we face in this industry is that it's in the limelight. There's even TV programs about cowboy builders and people getting ripped off. It's always in the news on Watchdog. There's even a TV show called Cowboy Builders. And when people get ripped off in this game, it's usually for a lot of money. I do genuinely sympathize with anybody that this has happened to, but what I don't want you to do is use those stories to drive your fear, to prevent you from taking action, to prevent you from moving forward in your investment careers. For every shitbag builder out there are 10 great ones just behind them. So as a brief insight into how my construction business works is I do take a deposit prior to a project starting. But the key things that I share when I take that deposit is that I explain in full to my clients what it's for exactly. And there are two reasons. The first reason is to secure the time in my diary. But what does that really mean, and why should you be paying for that? Well, if you've paid a deposit for me to start on a certain date, it means that I'm able to plan out my business's cash flow aligned with your project's delivery. And it gets some commitment from you for me to be comfortable that the project is going to go ahead and you're not going to cancel on me last minute. A cancelled project could absolutely destroy a business, and the risk of that happening, I want to mitigate it as far as possible, and that's the reason I take a deposit, in order to secure the time in the diary, and that's what that means. And the second reason for me to take a deposit is to secure any pre-start spend that's required, that is absolutely bespokely and specifically purchased for your project's delivery. I'm talking things like steel beams, any bespokely made kitchens, windows, anything that if I spend, it's gone. But how much deposit should you pay? That's the question. So of the things I've just shared about what I take a deposit for, number one being time in the diary, and number two, bespokely ordered materials. Now, the bespokely ordered materials are going to come at a cost. Now, that cost for me would form a large part of the deposit. If there were no bespoke materials required for your particular project, maybe it's just a plaster decorate and carpets, then I likely wouldn't take a deposit relative to the materials. It would just be relative to the booking time in the diary. Now, I understand entirely the angst, the nervousness, the anxiety around paying for a service that's not yet been delivered, particularly given how in the limelight this is as a topic in the national press right now. I understand these feelings because guess what? I've felt them too. I've paid deposits to builders, to trades. I've taken deposits from clients, but the one thing that I always do is I explain exactly what it's for. Now, here's the red flags that would be the alarm bell for me to start running for the hills. So I want you to imagine that you've just asked a builder to come round, maybe you've committed to them starting on your project, and they ask for the deposit to book the time in their diary. So that's the first step. They ask for it. And then you respond with, what's it for? which is a perfectly reasonable request. And if you get any of these 3 responses, it's time to get them trainers on and start running. Number 1, classic responses. No deposit, no job. Full of ego, full of aggression. If you get that as a response, leg it. Number 2, it's not my job to fund your project. That's another one that I hear all too commonly. And number 3, I'm a builder, not a lender. If you're getting any of those 3 responses, those ego-driven responses, it's time to start looking for another builder. Those responses are terrible. They are a terrible demonstration of customer care. They're a terrible presentation of the person's ego, and yet I see all 3 of those comments regularly, if not daily, in the comments on the posts and content which I share across social media. Now, selecting and managing contractors, engaging with contractors, is one small part of our 5-day advanced training that I offer to property investors looking to generate wealth through the refurbishment of property. Now, given this approach, given these procedures, it will improve your confidence. It will remove the feelings of fear, the feelings of doubt, those feelings of anxiety that you may well have whilst you're looking for, whilst you're engaging with, whilst you're designing your project. And I want to empower you to start generating some wealth through property refurbishment. If you want to hear more content like this, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell, make sure that these videos come straight to your inbox in the future. And if you want even more information on how you can work with me even closely, even further, down in the comments you'll find my email address, you'll find a website.